morning. I'm a day or two late, but I had a few minutes and wanted to do what I was supposed to do a couple of days ago. Friday was a really long day for me, not that it's an excuse, but I wanted to talk about what Jesus has to say on being hope in this world. With all the current events going on, I know that we as a people, especially in America, are not exactly full of hope at the moment, between COVID and the riots and the people creating havoc and just wrecking things. There's a lot of hopelessness out there, but we're called to be the salt in the light, and we're called to be hope. We're called to be followers of Jesus, little Christ. And I'm gonna read a little bit out of Matthew 5:13 through 16. It says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are light, you are the light of the world. A city on the hill cannot be hidden. Neither can people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." What we're supposed to do as people of God is that we're supposed to live in a way that says, I have an answer, or I have something that isn't of this world. It isn't selfish. It isn't inherently focused on me, egocentric. It's something that as we walk around and as we live life, people look at it and say, wow, I really want what that guy has. Why can he walk around free and I'm shackled with my selfishness? Well, Jesus says some pretty forward words. Salt in this context is talking about taste. He wants us to be tasty, something that's exciting, that's fragrant, that we like. And what we're supposed to do, and I talked last week about we're supposed to speak the truth in love, but we're also supposed to live in a way that says we are attractive to those around us. And I'm not talking about physically attractive. I'm talking about the way that we live is free. I'm supposed to live in a way that allows people to see Jesus in how I act. And when they ask questions about why I would do that, why would you take the high road? Why wouldn't you do what you could do, even though it could look wrong? So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take the message of Jesus, which is we're supposed to be the fragrance and the flavor of life. And we're supposed to do that through him. We're supposed to do that through him so that we can change the world going forward. We are sitting here in a hopeless society where everybody's selfishly saying, my thing, my stuff, and everybody's got opinions on everything. Well, the reality is we don't need people's opinions. We need love. We need to become the fragrant aroma of love to the world so that when we go out in the world, people say, that guy, that woman, that person lives differently. They live free. And Jesus was talking about that. Back in biblical times, salt was the only thing that you could flavor your food with. They didn't really have a whole lot of spices early on. Salt is like the thing that they use in this biblical context. And so what Jesus is saying is make the thing that you're eating, the spiritual food that you're taking in, make it tasty. It doesn't have to be boring and dry and gross. It can be amazing. It can be flavorful. And guys, we have an opportunity today in this hopeless world to become the tastiness of Jesus to somebody else. We can show them by how we live and how we act that there's a different way to move through life. We can show them there's hope. We can show them that there's opportunity to change people without having to share my opinion or my point of view on anything, because changing someone's point of view doesn't happen by sharing mine. It happens by showing them what Jesus has done for me. So as we actually have a little bit of sunshine here in Oregon, take a few minutes and think about exactly what you're putting out into the world. Are you putting out hope and salt and flavor, or are you putting out hate and hopelessness? Have a great Sunday, everybody.